After the signing of the Treaty of Lumen, peace had returned to the Ozean continent. Ground team remained operational at Valais Air Base during this time. For 6 months, there was no fighting, and it seemed as though stability had returned to the continent. That was until Anton Kupchenko, who had disappeared with Galt Squadron towards the start of the war, returned as the head of the newly formed, A World with No Boundaries organization. The organization was a renegade army of soldiers from Ozia, Sapin, Yuktobania, and Belka itself that sought to eliminate nations and their borders in order to prevent war. Anton, who had been involved in Belka's experimental weapons program, including Project Pendragon, gave the group access to said pre-war experimental technology. On December 25, Belkan army officers connected with the group launched a coup against the new Belkan government. At the same time, the group used the hijacked XB-0 Resvolgar to attack Lumen. The Resvolgar then traveled to Ustio and attacked Valais Air Base, where Galm team was preparing to scramble. After narrowly avoiding being caught up in the Resvolgar attack on Valais, Galm team took off in pursuit of the heavy command cruiser as it tried to flee to Nordbelka. Cypher and PJ intercepted it over the Waldreek Mountains and began engaging its escorts, including the Sapinish Espada squadron. After downing all the fighters escorting the cruiser, they attacked the Resvolgar itself, severely damaging it before attacking its cockpit. The stricken cruiser and all its occupants plunged into the mountain range, where they perished in a massive explosion. After the explosion, Larry Folk, who had joined the uprising forces, briefly flew over the crash site before disappearing. In that time, he sent an encrypted message to Galm team. It was received by PJ, and it read, "Yo buddy, still alive." A World with No Boundaries had set up its headquarters in the Avalon Dam, a secret V2 launch facility in the Mund Valley of Nordbelka. A single V2 missile had been seized by the coup forces, which they planned to launch at global population centers in order to plunge the world into chaos. Their plans were immediately discovered by the Allied forces, who immediately mobilized to foil it. On December 31st, the Ustio and Ozean Air Forces sent aircraft to Belka to halt the impending launch. Earlier that day, Galm team launched from Valais Air Base and traveled through Area B7, are on their way to Mund Valley. There they were intercepted by Kupchenko and Galt Squadron, who intended to stop them from thwarting A World with No Boundaries plan. Galt Squadron was subsequently defeated by Galm team, leading to Anton's death. The squadron arrived at Mund Valley at 3 p.m. exactly as a major air battle between Ozia and A World with No Boundaries members began. The ocean units distracted the World with No Boundaries members, while Galm team flew through a heavily defended ravine to reach the launch facility. Once there, Cypher flew into the silo itself and destroyed the launch control system, preventing the V2 launch. After the success of the operation, Galm team was ordered to remain on standby above the Avalon Dam. Around 3:10 p.m., Pixie entered Mund Valley airspace in a prototype at FX-2 Morgan aircraft to ensure the launch of V2. Pixie fired the aircraft's tactical laser system at Cypher, but the beam hit PJ instead, killing him when it sliced through his F-16 cockpit. A final duel between the former wingmates ensued in the skies above Avalon. Pixie used the AT-FX-2's advanced weapons to full effect in his attempts to defeat Cypher, but the burst missiles and tactical laser system were damaged by Cypher and rendered inoperable. After losing his main weapons, Pixie used the AT-FX-2 to launch the V2, forcing Cypher to try to shoot him down before the missile reached the atmosphere. After learning that the AT-FX-2 had been equipped with an electromagnetic defense system, Cypher was forced to engage Pixie in a series of head-on passes in order to aim for the vulnerable air intakes in a fight that was reminiscent of medieval jousting. After Cypher damaged the plane, it went out of control, causing the V2 to self-destruct over Mund Valley. The loss of V2 and the end of the battle led to the collapse of A World with No Boundaries and a final end of the Belkan War. Cypher would return to Valais Air Base after the battle, and then disappear months later, never to be seen in the skies again.